Hello everyone. So if you watched my previous two videos on setting up Raspberry Pi and also configuring Raspberry Pi to stream webcam using FFmpeg and also to basically use RTMP or HLS and also to play those videos using of course a web browser from a client, basically any other computer on your network. So that setup actually worked fine, and of course, I want to improve the whole setup. I'll probably make sure that my Raspberry Pi is configured to restart the stream whenever I plug it in to power, because I want to use Raspberry Pi truly headless. I don't really want to use a monitor. So everything is great so far, and this is my personal project that I was working on. But my next challenge is basically to how to access this stream from outside my home network. Now, I was thinking maybe instead of streaming it to a local HLS, basically the way I learned it basically recently. So previously I was using RTMP stream using Nginx, but then later on I used HLS format. So basically there is a playlist index file called stream.m3u8, which basically plays 5 or 6 video file segments, and will keep on deleting the old ones. So my next challenge is basically how to access, because right now I'm using an Nginx, which is the web server running on the Raspberry Pi, and I can access this stream using my browser, and even to play this particular file, the stream.m3u8, I'm using a video.js library. So things are great, but I want to access it. My next immediate challenge is basically to access this externally, and I don't really want to use port forwarding. So that was the main thing. Fortunately, there are many other people like me who are not really comfortable setting up port forwarding on their router. I mean, I can definitely use dynamic DNS or no IP, and again, I'm not massively comfortable opening a port on my router, and I of course did some research. So once I'm able to do this thing, my next challenge would be to ensure that I'm also keeping some old recordings. So I think that would be like my own NVR system, something like that. So basically what I did some research and I found a lot of information. And just to summarize how it will work, so basically I found this really wonderful blog post from Jordan Crayford and .kiwi. So I guess this person likes kiwis, or maybe this person is from New Zealand. I'm not really sure, I guess. But the setup is this. So you have basically this Raspberry Pi, which is of course in your home network. Devices connected to the same network using the same Wi-Fi, they can access it. But if you want to access a stream from outside your network or from basically internet, maybe using your mobile phone, you need to basically set up a server where you will install VPN. So I found a couple of solutions. One solution is that you set up SSH tunnel, and that is probably one option I'll try. But I think this VPN option makes sense to me. So basically you will set up one server. Maybe, I already have a few servers. I might use Oracle, if you remember earlier, I think it was last year or earlier this year, I got some few Oracle servers, VPS, and I might use them for this. Why not? So basically you can serve, I need to check their policy if they allow it or not, but I guess they should. So basically you will install something like OpenVPN, or there are other VPN based solutions which I need to figure out which one to use. That is my next thing that I want to check with you. So basically I learned that you can set up VPN, and then you can also ensure that your Raspberry Pi is also connected to the same VPN, and then your client, let us say your mobile phone, whatever, can access that particular server, and from that server you will access your Raspberry Pi. So this is not a massively complicated setup, and I think this should work. It makes sense to me. And talking about VPN now again, I because I don't really want anything which is huge, and I was doing some research, so I found this Tink VPN. I never really heard about it before. I also found OpenVPN, but I also learned about WireGuard. I don't know anything about WireGuard because I'm not really into networking, to be honest. But this one seems quite popular, and also the speed, because some people have written posts about it that WireGuard is quite fast. Again, I'm not a networking guy. I know the fundamentals. I know how to configure. I mean, I don't really know, but I learned when I was in college how to configure a router and switch. But and I also learned how to connect the RJ45 connector to the cable. The color coded cross and straight wires. So I know basics, I know fundamentals, but again, it has been 20 years, so I don't really know much about VPN. I did set up OpenVPN maybe 10 years ago. I remember that. I think it was OpenVPN. And I was really proud because I was able to set it up. But then I never really used it for anything great, right? So now I'm thinking of using this solution. And for some reason, I quite like this idea of having a VPN. I mean, I can the other solution of SSH tunnel. I'm not really sure because that would be just a tunnel. But if you set up a VPN, then you can also do wonderful things, right? You basically have access to your home network from outside, so basically you can have not just Raspberry Pi but other devices connected to this VPN, maybe your files or whatever. So this seems like a good option to me, and I'm thinking about it. Again, I don't really want to overcomplicate things. I prefer keeping things simple. I don't really want to spend a lot of time and maybe a lot of money. I mean, not really a lot of money because VPNs are not really, servers are not really expensive. And these VPN services or these softwares are, I guess, all open source. Hopefully. I know about OpenVPN, which is open source. I think so. Ting VPN, I guess. WireGuard, I guess, but I'm not really sure. So this is the setup which I think will make sense to me. Let me know what you think if you want to, help me. I will definitely try this, but if you have any other better solution, basically I want to access my Raspberry Pi from outside I know there are a lot of services online because I found something like So there are companies, they have built something using Raspberry Pi, and there are some Raspberry Pi based VPN services or softwares that you can install quickly. But I want to do it myself, that is where the fun is. All right, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about today in this video. Bye bye.